It's a really small town, and there's not a lot to do.
Oh my God, does your house have a yard? And a porch?
The house has a yard and a porch with a swing, and the swing makes this little creaking sound.
That sounds so perfect.
Swore we'd be running, running, running this town, but you're just running, running, running around. And I'm staring at a pin.
Growing up, I was told that to be a surgeon, I couldn't let myself feel. But then, I came to Bluebell.
It is charming. It is quaint. It's like out of a storybook.
It's the most beautiful place I'd ever seen, Andy. It was on this hill, surrounded by the Rockies.
For this list, we're looking at the TV settings we came to love as much as the characters who called them home. Which TV town made you dream of packing your bags and moving in? Let us know in the comments. Number 10, Neptune, California, Veronica Mars. We'll admit, at first glance, our favorite girl detective's hometown might have a few drawbacks.
If you go here, your parents are either millionaires or your parents work for millionaires. Neptune, California, a town without a middle class.
That's part of what keeps the place so interesting, though. Well, that and the suspiciously high crime rate. But seriously, if you can get past that, Neptune is a pretty cool place to call home.
At the very least, his should think it's hot. Actually, he does think it's pretty hot. He'd just think it was hotter if I were doing it in Neptune.
The whole SoCal noir feel definitely gives this town a unique vibe. Meanwhile, who wouldn't love being able to enjoy that gorgeous beachfront? Of course, the town's #1 feature will always be Veronica herself.
Just be glad I don't flip my hair. I'd own you.
Whatever problems Neptune may have, she is definitely up for the challenge. All we'd have to do is kick back in the sand and watch her go. Number 9, Sunnydale, California, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. We know what you're thinking. Life on the literal mouth of hell? Sounds tricky, right? Okay, but just imagine the possibilities. For instance, the Bronze is cooler than any teen club we've ever seen. But is that because of its non-existent age threshold, or the brooding vampires lurking around the dance floor? Or the werewolf playing bass on stage? And Halloween? Who wants to just wear a costume when you can really live the experience for a night?
Oh my God. I'm a real ghost.
The supernatural goings-on might come with a side of danger, but if you can survive, you'll get an experience unlike any other.
I still can't believe that all of this is happening. I mean, even with this town's reputation for, unexplained weirdness.
Right. Sunnydale, come for the food, stay for the dismemberment.
There's good food?
The town has its own superhero and her ace team of sidekicks, after all. What's the worst that could happen? Number 8, Rosewood, Pennsylvania, Pretty Little Liars. Sure, it's easy to focus on the insane mystery at the heart of the story here. It's only so shocking, though, because it's so out of place in the idyllic setting.
I'm going to tell you a story that doesn't have a happy ending. It's about 5 pretty girls in the perfect town of Rosewood.
Located just a stone's throw from Philadelphia, Rosewood offers the best of both worlds. It's got big city glamour and intrigue, but in a charming small-town package. Given how the people here tend to dress, the shopping must be pretty choice too.
You want a sweater set? Cashmere blend?
We won't deny that our protagonists had to deal with a lot in their corner of the world. So much that it even spilled out into the neighboring communities. But we can't help but envy their good luck in having a place like Rosewood to call home.
Spencer, don't go out there alone. Just wait for us. No, I don't want us all to leave. We can't tip A off.
Number 7, CAPESIDE, Massachusetts, Dawson's Creek. Paris might be incredible, but it's a little hard to imagine anyone wanting to leave CAPESIDE.
Granted, just no Eiffel Tower, but that's all we got. But don't forget about the other Francophile opportunities in town. French fries.
The town itself may seem sleepy, but we prefer to see it as peaceful. After all, with the amount of relationship drama going down, you need a tranquil setting as a counterbalance.
What you and I have may never be simple. But that doesn't mean that we're not going to be scorching.
Seriously, just look at the natural beauty of this place. It is a textbook example of the perfect New England seaside town. Growing up will never be easy no matter where you go through it, but it's gotta help if you can feel the pain and angst of adolescence while you look at this scenery.
I kind of like it.
What's there to like about it?
Well, it's a privileged existence.
Cheer up, Dawson. Just take a breath of that Atlantic air and have a little perspective. Number 6, Pawnee, Indiana, Parks and Recreation. This small Indiana town might be a little dysfunctional, but it's the kind of dysfunction that comes with a lot of heart.
Pawnee, it's safe to be here now. Pawnee, birthplace of Julia Roberts. That was a lie. She sued, and so we had to change it. Pawnee, home of the world-famous Julia Roberts lawsuit.
Sure, the local corporate giant may cause some issues, and the people definitely have their share of disagreements. But it's hard not to fall for a town that can show so much love to one miniature horse.
Bye, bye, little Sebastian. Your 5,000 candles in the wind.
It's the people that really sell us on this unique slice of Middle America. Who wouldn't want to make their home in a town that produces individuals like Leslie Knope and her friends? No matter how hard Eagleton might try, our hearts belong to Pawnee. Spending even a day there would be the ultimate embodiment of this excellent advice.
3 words for you. Treat yourself.
Number 5, Virgin River, California. Virgin River. It's a tale as old as time. Or as old as the Hallmark Channel anyway. City girl relocates to a small town for a fresh start.
Hi, I'm Mel. Monroe, yeah, the new nurse. In small towns, the internet is slow, but the gossip is fast.
It's not necessarily everyone's dream, but Virgin River in remote Northern California definitely makes a good case for the appeals of a quieter life.
You know, folks around here, we don't pay each other to be neighborly, it's just something we do.
The breathtaking natural surroundings are a good start for one thing. And if Pacific cottagecore is your thing, then this place can light up your vibes all day long. There's just something generally endearing about the locals, too.
Sorry, does that line really work?
You'd be surprised.
Well, you're lucky we're not in Los Angeles because Angelinas can smell BS.
Oh, really? Well, that's one of the reasons why I love living here so much. People aren't so jaded.
Some small towns can be a little closed off to outsiders, but in Virgin River, we get the sense that all newcomers would get a warm welcome. Number 4, Bluebell, Alabama, Hart of Dixie. Though the charm of the South is almost legendary, not everybody sees that side of the region right away.
All the food here is fried. The whole town smells like mold. And clearly, the sex education system is lacking.
However, following Zoe Hart on her move to rural Bluebell, Alabama, we get drawn into the town as she does. The Gulf Coast community feels slightly out of a different time, with its own rhythms and customs.
The Bells are elite young ladies chosen to keep our history alive. You can mock all you want, but I wouldn't do it out loud because they're meaner than they look.
Very few people seem troubled by its slower pace of life, though. In this fantasy version of the Deep South, there's time to sip your sweet tea and enjoy the little moments. And you have to hand it to the Bluebellians. They do know how to throw a celebration. A well-color-coordinated one at that.
To all the citizens of Bluebell, happy Founders Day.
Number 3, Schitt's Creek, Ontario. Schitt's Creek. Sometimes life takes us to unexpected places. A town called Schitt's Creek might not seem like the ideal spot for a new beginning, but it just goes to show that you should not judge a book by its cover, or a town by its name.
So Vice put out this guide to the most random cities in North America, and we were like, let's hit them.
It may not be the fanciest spot on the map, but what it lacks in refinement, it makes up for in flavor. Not to mention with a local population who seems ready to roll with anything. Plus, its cozy size means that it would take no time at all to get familiar with the town.
Charming studio apartment for rent in Lower SC. What's Lower SC? I thought this town was just one long street.
It may have taken the Rose family a little bit, but we can see right away what Schitt's Creek's founder accomplished.
He was a visionary, Johnny. He discovered this land, he developed it, and he turned it into the little slice of heaven that it is.
Number 2, Tree Hill, North Carolina. One Tree Hill. So many small town stories make a point of how dull life there can be. That never feels like the case in Tree Hill.
We're in for a treat tonight.
Who doesn't love a treat, Mal? I know I do.
The place gives us the close community bonds we expect, and plenty to entertain as well. With the high school basketball games, the cool independent businesses frequented by the locals, and the beautiful town spaces, it seems like a person could always find something to interest them. They even have a cool nightclub, one that has commanded some pretty awesome acts over the years. It's no wonder that so many of the characters remained close by as they got older. With a home like Tree Hill, it would be hard to imagine finding a better spot to settle down.
This is where it all happened for the first time. The heartache and the happiness. All of it.
Before we unveil our #1 pick, here are some honorable mentions. Serenity, South Carolina, Sweet Magnolias. The community bonds are thicker than the accents here.
And you stayed.
Yeah. Because in the darkest moments of my life, this town stood with me.
Smallville, Kansas. Smallville, elevating the small town experience to new heights.
Your abilities may be of my blood, but it is your time in Smallville with Jonathan and Martha Kent and all the people there that made you a hero, Connor.
Dillon, Texas. Friday Night Lights. The town spirit makes us want to join in under the lights ourselves.
It is game day, people, and I have never felt this kind of electricity, not in years. This town of Dillon, Texas is on fire, and I mean really on fire.
Everwood, Colorado. Everwood. The mountains are calling, and we must go.
Founded in 1853, this jewel of the Centennial State is home to one of the country's first opera houses, oldest gold mines, third largest chili cook-off, and even the occasional world-famous brain surgeon.
Mystic Falls, Virginia. The Vampire Diaries. A historic town with a bite of adventure.
You're out here all by yourself.
It's Mystic Falls. Nothing bad ever happens here.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. #1. Stars Hollow, Connecticut. Gilmore Girls. There truly is no place in the world like Stars Hollow. The town isn't just fictional, it seems to exist in another world.
But you get used to it after a spell.
Jess may not appreciate it, but we all fell in love with this quirky Connecticut treasure and the colorful characters who call it home. When everyone treats each other like family, all that small-town closeness feels like love rather than nosiness.
Who's the fox, Patty?
Excuse me.
I met him at a funeral. Great guy, good dancer. Latin.
People, order, please.
And we just have to appreciate the way Stars Hollow knows how to celebrate. There's a festival for everything here, and each one is more memorable than the last. Many shows can boast distinctive settings, but only Stars Hollow is practically a character in its own right, and one of our favorites at that.
First protest, now vandalism makes you think about leaving this town.
I never want to leave this town.
I'm staring